Okay, here we go. So what I did is I started focusing on the relationship between their spoken language and our English. And I was noticing there's discrepancies in what they're able to do. Some languages do not have our sounds. And so to work off of the minimum pairs and the accent reduction of the fall conference, I went ahead and created some lessons that would help students with their vowel sounds, their long and short sounds, their clusters, their blends, and their diphthongs. Those are all the fancy words for all the way we went ahead and learned different things. So a lot of times, I'm going to focus today on the TH. You can find out what sounds your students do not have in their native language by just doing a quick Google search. Most languages do not have our TH sounds. So I created a couple of lessons, 40 of them, to help on these enunciations for our students. So for example, the TH sound has two sounds to it. It has the voiced sound, like in this, that, and the, and it has the unvoiced sound like thumb and think and thin. So the pages give you some minimal pairs that helps students learn how to speak back and forth between the different sounds like sick and thick, some and thumb. So we can help them enunciate and be more understandable as they go on in their language acquisition. Then I created coaching that gives you a sentence like it's very sick or thick and weighs a lot. So which sound would be the correct sound? And so they get the practice of hearing the sounds and then producing the sounds. And then they can have like a tongue twister, something like 3,000 thirsty runners were thankful for the water. They thought those drink stations worthwhile. So that helps them kind of practice that. I find I can run through this and have them say it back and forth a couple times in less than about 10, 15 minutes with the students. This gives them a chance to improve, and they're actually having quite a bit of fun with it because, we laugh and we joke about it. You can use it for all different levels of your students because you can, the pages have clip art in them, so you can point to the different clip art and talk about, are you sick or are you thick? Is it the sum or the thumb? A sink or a think? So you have clip art that can help develop some vocabulary as well as not the cueing of the letters for the sounds in the words. Then you can go in, there's also some pages on how to help them with the confusions between some sounds and hear what confusions they have. A lot of times you can find it by just doing a Google search on that language, and then help them clarify. I created a 40-page PDF file for them, for you. If you're interested in getting a copy of it, I'm happy to email it to you, and there's my email address. Feel free to email me, and I'd be happy to send it to you. Do you have any questions?
This is exactly something that would really help me.
Perfect.
Well, and I'm copying down your email right now so I can request it.
Excellent. Yeah. Happy to send it to you.
Yeah, I had my students specifically ask me to help them with their pronunciation. Mm-hmm. And this seems like a really good way to do it.
I think that you have to be very comfortable with yourself. I mean, my students are laughing at me because they're working on the short I and a long E sound last week. And I said, for a while, it's just like your exercise class. When your teacher says, focus on whatever you're feeling in your hip as you're moving some exercise. I said, so if you have the short I, think of your face going up with a dot. And then, of course, I make a funny face. And when you're making the E sound, think it going outward. And so you have to have the self-confidence to kind of make yourself the fool so that other people can be willing to try. We're not out to get rid of their accents. Some of their accents are really cute, but you're trying to help them be more clear on their enunciation so other people can understand them.
Yeah, that's interesting you say that. I have one student whose English is pretty good, but she specifically wants to lose her accent. But I don't know if that's even humanly possible.
Not without a lot of training.
Yeah. So this sort of helps me with how to help her and to encourage her not to worry about that too much because she's very understandable and her English is at a high level.
Excellent. I'm using with my high levels, and they're having a great time because I have one from Poland, and the simple act of telling her to stop clenching her teeth because she's talking like this helps.
Uh,
So by saying "open your mouth," yeah, and here again, you make fun of yourself, and so it works out just fine.
yeah, yeah. I have one student who we work on the R sound.
Mm-hmm.
And I say that, we Americans, we're like bears, we growl, and I try to make it fun and compare it to the way the English pronounce rot, with their R is slightly different from the American R.
Mm-hmm.
And so we have fun with that.
Sometimes with my Japanese students who are very culturally like covering their mouth, and I says, we as Americans have these big mouths and we talk like our mouths are open wide. And they'll laugh at me and then they open their mouth a little bit bigger.
Yeah. Mhm.
Let me make a couple of requests. Don, if you're finished with this slide, can you take it down so we can see the rest of the group uh, and maybe we have a show of hands and people can um, you can let us know if you have a question by putting your hand up or by using the little yellow button that's at the bottom of your screen. I'm sure there are other questions or comments people will have.
Well, I have one.
Okay, is it Pat Levy?
Yes. Can you
Please go
hear
ahead.
me? Oh, okay. Um, I have a Japanese student, and when we were trying to do the R, um, I noticed that she doesn't have the muscle strength to make this part go down. Yeah. So, and I told her that, and that gave her a little something to work on, you know.
I saw this YouTube video on helping Japanese pronounce the sound and it it recommended that they say ooh first, and then it goes into an R, run, like that, run, and that seemed to help. Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Um,
Sometimes you need to tell them where to place their tongue, like pull your tongue back so the back of your tongue is in the back of your teeth, and then rumble towards the throat. You make the sound and tell them where your tongue and teeth are. That helps them as well.
And Pat, I found the same thing with the L, with the tongue, the muscle. It's very, very difficult for Japanese.
yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm always telling my Spanish speakers for the TH to stick their tongue out. They don't like to do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
It's good.
Joanne has her hand up.
Joanne, please go
I just
ahead.
have a comment about accent reduction. I think it might help them to know that English speakers from different parts of the world, like Australia, England, Ireland, the northeast coast of America, all have their accents, and as long as it's not cause misunderstanding, it's okay. because my husband's from New York and he still has a slight accent. So maybe if they could hear the different regional accents, they would not feel so bad about their own accent.
See, how do I put my
Laura,
hand up?
I can see you. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, my Japanese student, we have a very good relationship, and I sort of, I talked about the English accent, the Irish accent, and a little bit of American history with immigration to the U.S. But I also told you that learning Spanish was extremely difficult for me to learn the way the Spanish pronounces the R because they roll their tongue. Arre, you know, amor. And so you have to make your tongue vibrate to get that. That's the one sound in Spanish, very different from English. And so we had fun kind of playing with that, you know. Adios, amigo. ¿Qué quieres? It's not quieres. Because if you say quieres or quiero, which means I want or you want, in Spanish, it sounds terrible to the Spanish ear. And I had one teacher in high school who made us get up and act out little dialogues. And he was real dramatic. And we really had to work on that sound. And that was very helpful to finally realize you have to make your tongue vibrate like that to get that sound. So
Okay.
just seconding the idea of sharing the difference in other languages and American accents, English accent, Irish. So not to in fact, my one student who asked to get, I really think I need to tell her, your accent is minimal. I really think that it's nothing to worry about, although I will try to help you and model, my particular accent, what California, West Coast, whatever it is.
Sheila, you have your hand up.
Well, what Laura said brought up something. When I went to Ireland and a taxi driver drove us from the airport to our hotel, and I know he was speaking English, but I could not understand most of what he was saying, except for at the end when he said, "And here you are, and Bob's your uncle." And that was good. I got that, but the rest of it, no, I don't know.
That's really funny. That's a good example because it helps the student not feel like they are so odd or
Yeah.
there's something wrong with them because they can't hear the sounds or repeat them. Little anecdotes like that are good.
I have a question.
I'm sorry, I can't see who that is.
It's JC
Oh.
Aramaki.
Oh, hi.
Hi.
Please go ahead.
I have two Russian students, advanced. They've studied English for years, and they're currently studying it here. And their only problem is pronunciation. It's a real struggle. For example, the wife, it's a couple. She was talking to her. She worked as a caregiver, and she was telling the caregiver, her little patron, that they were going to have soap for lunch.
Oh.
Yeah.
Of course, she meant soup, but it's all pronunciation. So I've been looking for some new resources because what I do typically is use Breaking News English, the hard lesson. So something for us to talk about. And I can always correct their pronunciation when I have them read, and I go back and forth with that. But I would sure like some different resources because I'm getting kind of tired of Breaking News English. So if anyone has any ideas for advanced speakers, I'd love to hear it.
It sounds like the PDFs that Dawn has would be helpful for
Okay,
you.
yeah, I will definitely ask her for them.
I don't know if anybody uses AI, probably not nearly as much as I do, but if you you can try it. Just put in there as a prompt, say, I have advanced Russian speakers who are learning American English, and I need help helping them with pronouncing American English. Do you have any ideas? And it will give you a million ideas.
I'll do it. I'll do it. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's good. Okay.
Yeah.
You can also ask AI to create a short passage using certain sounds, and they'll print you out a paragraph. And then you can have them practice that same paragraph over and over and over again.
You do have to be careful though, because it makes mistakes. So you got to check it. But yeah.
Okay. I will do
For example, this week I had it create 15 words on word stress, and it put in capital letters where the stress was, but it missed three words.
Oh.
It missed it. I mean, it didn't do it right.
Oh.
So you have to be careful.
I think Joanne had a question.
I'm talking about soap and soup. You know, our spelling is atrocious. The way our phonics works is atrocious. It doesn't match. And so sometimes my students get confused about how to pronounce things by, reading the word and thinking that it follows a certain rule and it doesn't. So you might, I don't know if it will help to go over some of these phonic rules and, like having the long A's and the short A's and the combination of OU, OA, that kind of stuff, because that's very confusing for English learners. It's probably confusing for native speakers too.
David, you put up a chat post. Would you say something about that site that you're mentioning?
Yeah, there's a lady who runs it. She's a speech pathologist, actually. She has some very nice videos. A lot of them are on YouTube. Others you can access either YouTube or the site version just from that site regarding pronunciation in English. She teaches people who have trouble pronouncing, and maybe native speakers, but who have had some sort of pathological problem. Or it's also good for non-native speakers. But lots of good advice, and good examples, and little exercises. I used it a lot for the vowels for Japanese, and of course the R sound and the S sound and so forth for different people. It's very nice because she talks about the shape of the mouth, the position of the tongue, how much you tense the muscles in your jaw, and where you tense them and don't tense them, because all those influence what sound comes out. And so it's useful. It's useful just for me to realize also what I do when I pronounce different letters or different consonants and vowels.
Thank you.
Share that email again. David,
would you say the name of the email?
It's in the chat.
It's in the chat.
It's in the chat, yeah. It's Clear English, something like that, .com.
I will mention too that the Literacy Council has 2 volunteers now that are speech therapists of some sort. I believe you all met one of them, Janice, at the conference last fall. But the other one is Judy. And I believe if you have a question, they would be happy to answer your questions. And they might be able to come to your class and help. Not sure of that though.
Okay.